Okay, so this week I got an email from Sherry Verson, and she sent me this email, and in the email she put a quote, and this was the quote. Do you not remember this quote? A bird doesn't sing because it has a message. It sings because it has a song. That's where I got the song from. She sent me the quote, and I went, oh, sing. Oh, the Carpenters. Oh, I could connect this whole thing together. So thank you, Sherry. That was on Friday. And today is just 2 days later. Yeah, poor Thor is like, do you have a talk? Do you have a talk? Do you have a song? Do you have a song? Yeah. I said, no, but Sherry just gave it to us. So a bird doesn't sing because it has a message. It sings because it has a song. And that brought me to you that I'm not here to prove anything. I'm here to let me out, regardless. How many of you get caught up in trying to present a message, trying to prove something in the world, trying to create something, be something in the world, when really our only purpose to be here is to tap into our authentic self, and every time we tap into it, there's a new beginning. Something is coming up, and if there's not, you haven't tapped into the authenticity that is your pool of creative energy, because it's going to change, it's going to evolve, it's going to grow. So that brings me to a number of quotes. I went crazy on the internet looking at all the people's quotes about what have they said about authenticity, what have they said about singing songs. It's like, anyway, here's the one I came to. This is the title of my talk. What song are you singing? Diane and Michael, I don't know why I thought of you when I saw this picture, but I really did. I thought of the two of you traveling the world and just singing out loud with all the stuff you do. So, what song are you singing? If we use that in terms of science of mind, I'm looking at Liza, because Liza has a unique singing voice. Meaning, no, we should hear it, but no one should sing with you. Because there's a very good likelihood they will not be in whatever key you've chosen. Yes. And Liza doesn't care what key you've chosen. When I asked her to come up on stage and sing, she puts the mic away. She says, take the mic, I'll sing without it. But I'm usually next to her. And there is not even a semblance of clue of what key we're in. But you know what I love about Liza? She doesn't care. She just sings. If we're going, sing. So here's us, sing a song, and I'll hear to my left, sing a song. Doesn't matter what key we're in. That's my message today. Be more Liza, right? Less worried about, are you in tune with everybody else, or are you singing your own song, right, Diana? Yes, you've got to sing your own song and not care. Don't worry what anybody else thinks. What's that lyric? Don't worry that it's not good enough for anyone else to hear. So that's really the idea today. What song are you singing? So Brene Brown said this, authenticity is a daily practice of letting go of who we think we're supposed to be and embracing who we are. How many of us are still stuck in a paradigm of trying to be who we think we should be? I mean, think about the things you might change in your life if you weren't trying to impress or receive approval from anyone. Anyone. Even yourself. Because a lot of the approval you give yourself is garnered from all of the beliefs and all the things that have happened up to this point. It's not appropriate to be that. It's not appropriate to do that. It's not appropriate for a 71-year-old man to act this way. It's not appropriate for a minister. How many ministers do we have here, right? I had that in my early ministry. It's not appropriate for a minister to act that way. My mentor, as I said last week, he had an issue with singing. It's not appropriate for a minister to sing anymore once you're a minister. You hire singers. That's their job. My job is to, as that quote said, give the message. But I'm not really here to give you a message. I'm here to sing. Seriously, yeah. So in the quiet of your beautiful, still, creative mind, I'm going to read that again. Just listen to it. In the quiet of your beautiful, still, creative mind, who do you see yourself as? Not when you look at your life and see what you've done so far, but in the quiet of that expansive, beautiful mind that is you. If you really get quiet, turn all the voices away, just get quiet. Who do you see yourself as? And you can go further and say, where do I see myself? What do I see myself doing? Who do I see myself surrounded by? When you're not trying to fill some replica of what you've designed, who do you see yourself as? What's in you that perhaps you haven't met yet? Bless you. I think that's an important question. Who's in me that I haven't met yet? If I have a finite version of who James Mellon is, then all the else that I can be, all the other that I can be, is never going to get realized. And let's face it, I only have 45 years left, perhaps 50 years left, however long as it takes. Maybe I have a year left. Who knows? None of us know. So there's no time like the present for a new beginning of tapping into that thing in you that knows better than you do who you are, who you really are. You know, when we say love only, forgive everything, remember who you are. That's what I'm talking about today. Really remembering who we are. Mother Teresa said something very interesting. She said, honesty and transparency make you vulnerable. Be honest and transparent anyway. Right? God love Mother Teresa. I picked that picture for a reason. It was, you know, I always pick the slides based on what the quote is and what I want to say. And I saw this when I was going through this bevy of pictures, and I went, how often am I the little circle that's very clear about what I'm looking at, and how often am I the rest of that? How often am I really honest? Am I really transparent, clear enough that you can see everything? How many walls do I still have? How many walls do I still hide behind? How many personalities do I still hide behind? How many personality traits do I still use as a way not to show you what I'm thinking or what I'm feeling? The best relationships in life are when people can be completely honest with one another in a loving way. So this quote of hers, honesty and transparency make you vulnerable. I am very vulnerable right now in my life. So many things going on in our lives. You know, when a dear friend passes, there's a vulnerability to that you want to just get strong. I'm going to get strong. I'm not doing it. I'm being who I am. You know, and I'm directing a new play. For 5 days now, I've had tons of people all around me telling me what they want and asking me what I want. And it was really, could be overwhelming. But when the week was over, for the first time in my directorial career, the entire play was finished, teched, set was there, lighting design, all of it was done. And I even staged the curtain call, which never happens. I'm usually trying to stage the curtain call right before opening night when everybody's trying to get ready. Done. And the crew came to me and said, we just want to thank you for setting the tone of calm and that everything was going to be okay. And what I realized was, and I was grateful that they said that, but what I realized was, that's kind of the tone of my life now. And because I trust and believe that everything's unfolding perfectly, no matter what, I'm more vulnerable. Because I'm not hiding from what's going on. I'm actually seeing it. And I'm looking at it. Even with our world, that's what's going on in our world. I see it all. I don't run from it. I'm not afraid to look at it. But I also understand my life is unfolding perfectly. So is the life of the world. So this thing of honesty and transparency, where in your life are you not looking at yourself honestly? Where in your life are you still putting up walls? Even about yourself? These are important questions for us not to just ask, but to live in the answer and see what wants to come up. So Henry David Thoreau said this. Don't you love that picture of Thor? Be yourself, as if you could look like that. Be yourself, not your idea of what you think somebody else's idea of yourself should be. So the question is, how many of us are living the idea of what somebody else's idea of who I should be, I am? You all following that? This is Henry David Thoreau at his interestingest, as if that's a word. Here's the thing. There is only one head that you can inhabit. Are you aware of that? There is only one. You know when people say, don't get in my head? You can't get in their head. It's them in their head thinking you're in their head. You get that? You are not in their head. You can't be in their head. And frankly, They can't be in your head. What's in your head is what you think they're thinking about you, which you have now thought was in their head, but it's in your head. You all get that? So, you only get one head. And it is yours. Everything else is speculation. So I'm here today to tell you, stick to your own head. Truly. That's the whole point of this. Authenticity and honesty, finding out who you are, requires you to stop worrying about what Thor thinks. To stop worrying about what your husband, your wife, your brother, your sister, my mother, my daughter, whoever. To stop worrying about what anyone else thinks. Don't worry if it's not good enough for anyone else to hear. It just doesn't matter. What matters is what's in your head. What is in your mind? And do you get it quiet enough to hear what's actually in there? So Michael Jordan said this about authenticity. He said, authenticity is about being true to who you are, even when everyone around you wants you to be someone else. So this week is expectancy week in Mental Muscle. And one of the things we ask ourselves in expectancy week is, are we living up to other people's expectations of who we should be? And even, are we living up to our own expectations of who we think we should be, even if they're worn out and they no longer apply? But we're still stuck trying to be this expectancy, right? So this quote by Michael Jordan, authenticity is about being true to who you are, even when everyone around you wants you to be someone else, including yourself. So today is about, at the end of this month of new beginnings, realizing that there's something in you that knows who you are. Not someone else, you, the true you, the authentic you. Someone in you who really knows what there is for you to mine inside of yourself. And Henry David Thoreau also said this, we are constantly invited to be who we are. Every day, every moment, you have an opportunity to, as our affirmation was, every moment there's a new beginning. Every moment you're being asked, who are you? Who do you want to be in this moment? Who are you really in this moment? Not who should you be, not who do they expect you to be, expect you to show up as. I went to service last Saturday and I wore shorts to the service in Palm Springs, and someone came up to me and said, I've never seen you wear shorts to a service as a minister. And I just looked at him and I went, it's hot. That was it. That's all the pre-thought I gave to those shorts. And he said, well, I think that's really daring of you. I said, I honestly believe that people know I have legs underneath my pants. Yeah. I said, and frankly, this is courageous of me because I am showing everyone those knee wrinkles I talked about a year ago. And let me tell you how many people came up to me to look at those knee wrinkles. They did. They went, oh, I see them. I was like, I don't care, whatever. Someone did tell me I could get Botox to clear them up, and I decided that if I Botox my knees, I have gone a step too far, really. And there's my authenticity is down the tubes. Yes. Liza's going, absolutely not. Anyway, back to you. Enough about my knee wrinkles. Notice I never wear shorts here, ever. Next week. I should have worn them today. The air conditioning's broken. Can you tell? No? Oh, you can't? Good for you. One day, I usually come in here in tight little shirts with little short sleeves. Today I wear a sweater. And I come in and they say the air conditioning's out. And I was like, and that's how it blows. Or doesn't. Yes. So every moment we're being invited to just be, to tap into something that allows you to be your true authentic self. So a new beginning with every moment. Carl Jung said this. I love this. The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. And I picked this picture because you are not just one thing. Last week, we were in the middle of the show and I had not finished staging it and it was very slow going. And there was a moment I said to myself, do I even like doing this anymore? Everybody needs an answer from me. I'm in charge of everything. I've always loved being the one that had to do everything and be the big person, but it wasn't feeling like that. I don't feel that way anymore because I don't need to feel that way anymore. I know it now. So that was a joke, but it's true. I do know who I am. So, and I said, do I really want to do this anymore? And I got quiet for a minute. We were on a break, and I just got quiet. And I went, I need to really ask that question, not just do it as a reaction to being challenged. And I took a deep breath, and I just said, do I want to do this anymore? And this resounding said, it's who you are, for God's sake. And I was like, yeah, that's true. And everything got easier and easier and easier and easier because I answered the question, am I being who I want to be in this moment? Or am I living up to other people's expectations of me? Even my own expectation that this is what I'm here to do. This is what I'm required to do. So you have multiple, as Thor said, multiple choices to make. And none of them are wrong. Some of them are more authentic than others. And that's what we're looking for. What is the most authentic? This is an ongoing process, you know, and you have to be willing to shift. Every time something comes up, you need to be willing to do what Thor did, which is to come to me and say, I've heard 400 of your talks. To come to me and say, I need to do something else. I'm not being fulfilled in the job I have right now. I want to be fulfilled. Which, you know what? If he hadn't come to me, then apparently he wasn't listening to the talks. But you were, and I appreciate that. So are you fulfilled? Like someone said to me, how are you? I said, I'm really tired. Yesterday was really grueling. These last few days have been really grueling. But you know what? I worked hard at something I love to do. So it doesn't feel hard. I may be tired a little bit, but it doesn't feel hard because I love to do it. Are you doing what you love to do? Are you being that part, that true self that loves living as Liza Minnelli, as Liza Minnelli, as Liza Marquez? And I know you are, because you laugh. Your laugh tells it all, right? It tells it all. You laugh, and I know you're laughing from the gut of your authentic self. So that's a question for all of us as we end this New Beginnings month. You know, New Beginnings starts with you tapping into who you truly are. It's not just picking something and doing it to make it new. It's not trying to do something different just to get out of a rut. If you're in a rut, get quiet and ask yourself, what is mine to do right now? Just right now. And it may be get off your ass and go take a walk around the neighborhood and then see what happens. It might be that simple right there in that moment. It doesn't have to be quit your job, end your marriage, and move to Portland. Unless somehow you're hearing that, right? So you have to be willing to go with the flow. So I go back to my talk title to ask you the question. What song are you singing? Because the universe is hearing it. It's listening to it. The vibrations you put out are vibrations that are backed by your belief system. The energy you put out, the life force that you spend, the universe is hearing it. And it's saying yes to all of it. So when I say, what song are you singing? What song am I singing? Am I singing a song of love? Am I singing a song of joy? Am I singing a song of woe is me? Am I singing a song of lack? Am I singing a song of ... You got to know. And then ask yourself, am I doing a cover song? Or am I writing an original tune? I invite you today to start writing original tunes that the world has not heard yet. Because every one of us has a song inside of us to sing, and it's our very own, and no one else can sing it in whatever damn key we choose to sing it in. So go out and sing. Sing a song. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.